Check this out. Looks better now it's off the dyno actually. You just don't get to see stuff like this in the engineering. It's like a flipping aeroplane, you know what I mean? It's, yeah. And then what metal is that? Because that's not chromed. Is that chromoly metal? Is it plated?
Yeah. So it'll be chromoly tube like we're using on yours, but nickel plated.
I didn't know that AP was Lockheed. Because now they just brand themselves as AP Racing, don't they? Like the brake.
That side of it. Lockheed's still a separate.
But obviously it was, yeah. It's
Lockheed do all the helicopters and stuff.
Yeah. But and there you see like the aero link as well. Do you know what I mean? Because this level of engineering.
This is low. It's 75. Is it?
What's going on here? You just got why have you got those stuck off?
Because it's got a problem with them too.
Is that where the problem is? Huh?
We were trying to figure out what it's doing.
Jesus, look at that! Wow!
Yeah.
There isn't even a guard on it. If that belt was to snap, it would slap you on the back of the neck like Jesus.
Two fuel tanks on side here as well. There will be a guard.
Where these?
Together. No, these are fuel.
These are right, yeah. Flipping heck!
That really old one I did.
That's a lot of fuel there.
There's a fuel tank over the top.
It uses a lot of fuel.
Aye, I guess. What size engine is it?
5 litre.
So it's a Ford.
I think that's Ford.
Yeah, it's a Chevy.
That's a Chevy.
It won't be 5 litre then. I don't think they made a 5 litre. Is it? I suppose it's a racing engine though, so it was made for. You know, they've probably not got it out of some at the scrapyard, have you? It's.
I would have said there's a block. It's located another block, which is in America. So
so it's not. Yeah, it's not standard.
Look at the rivets in there. The purple rivets. These are.
Yeah, I was just spotting these. These are like.
These ones are still
Yeah, they're like compression sort of. Oh, aye.
Aluminium ones.
different braking strange, just like that in it. Yeah.
The seating position's pretty wild as well. It's so laid down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your head's basically like that. Tough for your head.
Aye, twin radiators linked again right across in behind there. It's mad how there's no protection there. It wouldn't have took much to put like a bit of an aluminium plate there, would it? Even the gearbox, what did that come out of? It's a transaxle, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got a special guest with us today.
Hi.
This is my daughter Charlie, and it's her motorbike that we're messing on with. So she's just found out that we're doing this. I've ended up telling her obviously I wanted to give her the bike done, but there was the opportunity of her coming and helping us do it, so I didn't want to miss out on that. So we're going to paint it black. She wants it black, not yellow. And yeah, so today we're going to try and get the front fairing on. We've got a belter job going on with this seat. Check this out. So this is the underneath side of, obviously that's the Ducati rear fairing tailpiece, and this is her original seat. So I've been cutting away, fitting the seat into the this section, trying to get it to sit down as far as possible along there. It's never going to fit perfectly, and then it'll bolt through there onto the bike. So I've got it down a bit further than it was. There's still going to be gaps, but the main thing is that it's going to be solid and bolted properly. I've got a proper backlight for it. That's on its way, so yeah, it's going good. Right, progress so far on Charlie's bike. Ah. Someone's happy. So we've got it all on. I had to cut loads to get it to fit. And we're by no means done yet. We've got bits of plastic, well, fiberglass everywhere. You can see all the bits that we've chopped off, and there's more. Oh, I forgot to say, I've got the exhaust on. Right, fire her up. It should be. Give it a rev. So, these are moulds, 3D printed moulds to make, what is it?
Landing gear for a jet RC plane.
And we're gonna make it out of forged carbon, so we've got a kit to have a go at this forged carbon stuff, so we're gonna give that a go today.
Needs a bit of cleaning up.
So it's gonna, what you're gonna do to it? Sand it, clean off the edges.
Bolt them two together.
Yeah.
Fill it with
And
the forged
the
carbon.
part sits in there.
Yeah, that's the cavity for the part.
Yeah.
Push all the carbon into it, and then you put the top on, which pushes in to give it pressure. Clamp it in the vise, and then leave it for 24 hours, and we should have a carbon fibre landing gear
For a jet.
for a jet plane.
Yeah, cool. So this is the piece that we're going to have a go at making. And that's 3D printed already, isn't it? And it
Yeah.
was originally to be made in aluminium, but
Yeah, they're aluminium.
she's going to clean these up. But I just thought I'd show you this. So this is the kit that we're using. Really impressive. It's 750 grams of chopped tow. That's like the carbon itself. I didn't realise how much there's going to be in it. So it's that section
that's the
there.
original section, so there's one either side. And that one.
That's like obviously the landing
that
gear.
operates the landing gear, yeah. Which is quite tricky to.
Does that come down by itself? Is that
No,
like,
it's an air thing.
Aye,
So there's
aye.
air on each end, so you can
yeah,
put it
see how
into
it
it, and then
works.
it locks in. And, then
And
goes
so
back
you
and
don't
locks
think
in.
that there'll be any wear issues with it being, you know?
No, because it pivots on the pin
Right.
rather than on the.
Yeah,
on the
those are
carbon.
just guides
And
rather
then
than.
that's just fixed there, so there's not much in the way of moving parts touching.
Yeah.
There's little bushes in there.
Yeah. I got this from Easy Composites. That's where I've been getting all my fiberglass stuff and that from. So they're really good service. Deliver quick, and they've got loads of different stuff. So if anybody wanted to have a go at playing with forged carbon, I think this is a really good way of starting. But you need the ability to make the moulds, whether CNC or 3D printing. You can cast them as well.
You can cast them as well. So if you've got a part.
Oh, of course you could. Yeah, right. Yes, you
can,
could. Aye.
You can pour in. Can't remember the material.
Yeah,
Material
right.
to do.
And these will do the material for that as
Yeah,
well,
they've got
probably
that
as well. Yeah, cool. That's a sort of motorbike side casing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
side casing. Yeah. So the mold.
And there's a thing where they tested this. We just watched
Yeah,
the
the
video
brake
the other
levers.
day, and they were doing brake levers, motorbike brake levers, and the aluminium one came in, what was it, third in strength? The forged carbon was stronger than the aluminium, and the forged carbon with strands of continuous strands running all the way down it was about 3 times stronger than the aluminium, wasn't it? So it is really strong and durable stuff. So it's certainly going to be enough to.
You can put that continuous carbon in the direction that you need the strength.
Yeah.
You know, to make it better. We won't need to with this.
Yeah. Cool. So this is the mould now pretty much ready. It's just all been cleaned up. Jonathan's been sanding it. Just any rough bits, bolts together, and then we're going to cast the forged carbon into there, and then that bit goes on top, and that section there then pushes down into that hole and forms a really solid piece. So it's just about ready to go. We've just got some release spray, or
Yeah, it's
does release spray come with the? Yeah, does it come with the kit as well? It's a brilliant little kit, this.
So you get the release wax. There's a little bit of putty for filling any little holes, which I'll have to do for holes like this.
Look at all of that. Like, I wasn't expecting this, like, because I just thought it was like, you know, a small kit, yeah, a tiny kit, but this is like a wax for filling in holes in your mould if you've got any bits that you need filled in.
High bills release wax.
Yeah, right. You get mixing pots, you've got brushes, you've got stirry sticks, and then you've got your hardener and your resin. It's a right good little kit. You could make all sorts with this. So as far as MR2 is concerned, or I'm going to start calling it the RB200 now. Putting the window in that was in the convertible hood. We've cut that out of the hood, and that's now going to mount into there. So I'm going to cut a hole for the, you know, or else you won't be able to see through the window. And that lip there, that's where the window's going to sit. So that the outer line's the outer edge of the window, and the inner line is where I'm going to cut. So get the grinder out. Spin you around. Huh? Right, Colin. New toy day. But yeah, that's my new toy, and this is my pal Colin who's delivered it for us. I've cut a hole, so that's where the window is. That's where the window hole is. It needs straightened out, but that doesn't matter for now. I've taped up the window, and this is the back edge of the window that's going to sit onto the fiberglass panel. So I've put the foil tape on there. I'll put some release wax or spray on that, and then I'm going to essentially sit that on there and just fill around it, and that will create the edge that we need to fit the window into. Yeah, so what's happened here is, you know, I was doing the bike the other day for my daughter. Well, she says to us, wouldn't it be awesome if you had a bike and we could go out on a ride together? And I was like, actually it would be, yeah. So my mate was selling this thing, and yeah, it's just like when I was young, I had an RD125, a Yamaha RD125, but you know, when these things came out, this was like, oh my god, you know, it was just like a fantasy bike, you know what I mean? It really was like a dream bike at the time. And not even this one, I hadn't even, it was just Aprilia's. I don't know whether it was this or what, but yeah, so when I seen this and my daughter was saying that, I thought, what a good excuse to get a bike. So it's just a 125. Looks the part though. Need to get it fired up.
And it has got cubic millimeters as well.
So it's just working out the amount of resin. Is it the amount of resin or the amount of carbon?
Well, both.
So it's trying to work out the mass and volume of the part so that we know how much resin to mix.
Yeah.
I suppose if you go over a little bit, but you're going to be around there with 20 grams, aren't you?
Yeah.
So after about half an hour, 45 minutes of trying to work out the ratios of all this and the weight of everything, because it's critical though, isn't it? You got to get the measurements, the amount of resin to carbon correct, or else it's just not going to do what it needs to do. So I think once,
Just the first time.
yeah, that's it. It's just learning the ratios and how to calculate the area and stuff. But this is the carbon and the resin going in. So you don't mix the carbon into the resin, no?
No, you just stipple it in and feed it in and compact it.
Right.
build it up. He says this is the easiest way to do it.
Right.
So I'll go from what they're saying, and then bit of a tedious process.
Because naturally I would have wanted to mix the carbon in and then just
I think it's so the strands
don't get all
fairly
messed
long,
up. Yeah.
So you can feed them into the mould.
Feed them in with that sticky brush.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward, but it's a very small part to be making for the first go, I think.
Yeah.
Probably would have been easier on something bigger.
So this is in the vise now. Yeah, just bit by bit you tighten it up, and that forces out the excess resin. And so you just to do it bit by bit so that you don't overdo it. Give it time to come out. And then 24 hours in there, that's the vice stuck up for 24 hours. No, 12. You said 12, yeah, 12 hours. Yeah. So I went to clean the tank out because obviously the tank's been sitting for a while. Looked inside, it was a little bit rusty. So flushed some petrol through it, and the petrol came out like that. You can see all them bits in the bottom. But and so I've had a magnet on a pipe and inside it, and that's what's inside. So got a lot of magnet fishing to do to get rust out of the tank. Well, you can see in there, like it's, you probably can't see. Maybe. Yeah, she's oh, look at that. So obviously there's a fuel filter in the tank, but it's just going to block up if I don't get as much of this out as possible. So meanwhile, just waiting for some filler to go off. Windows position, just filling up to it, and then I'll shape all that, and then that'll be the roof section pretty much finished, I think. And over here I'm just using this double glazed unit just to make a flat panel of like single layer fiberglass, and I'm going to use that to make the returns on the underneath edge of the roof. So it's just an easy way to make a nice flat sheet.